Welcome to Freelance Sucks. Here we discuss the dark side of freelancing about which nobody usually talks out loud. In this show, we speak with experienced freelancers, and I'm sure listening to their stories helps you prepare for freelancers' challenges. My name is Yuri. I'm a community builder at Code Control and 9am.works, and my guest is Dimitri Abalenkov, a freelance product manager with 10 plus years of experience who is originally from Riga but travels and works from anywhere and loves jogging or walking on the Latvian seaside, surfing in Portugal, and reading books. So, welcome, Dimitri.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I feel very honored after this
Super,
introduction.
super happy to have you here. And the first question for you personally, what is the most challenging part of being a freelancer?
Oh, wow. Um, I'm afraid I don't have just one point.
We can talk about
Uh,
few.
but I have a few. I guess for me, the most challenging part sometimes um, is to stay calm when there are no new gigs in the pipeline.
Hmm.
Um, and not to jump like on any project you get suggested to, you know. Sometimes you need to wait, as in surfing, for the right wave to come, you know.
Hmm.
So and use this time wisely, because freelancers more often than not put themselves under pressure when there are no new projects, and see it as, okay, I used to do, I don't know, like 5K a month, and now I'm doing like minus 5K. But no, you're not
Hmm.
doing minus 5K when you don't have projects.
Yeah.
You can use this time wisely and either take a vacation, like what I did last time. I went to a little trip with my friends to South America, to Argentina and Brazil. I also tried like to do some trainings, because for freelancers, sometimes it's hard to find and dedicate time to these things, and they're really fast being underestimated. That you think, okay, I need to just generate money and do new gigs and so on and so forth. But you forget about like having some rest in between the projects, and investing some time into developing your skills even further.
Yeah, I love it. I love this connection with the surfing and like fighting a good wave. And for you personally, how does it work? How do you feel that like this project is not I'm waiting for the better wave?
For me, like I have quite a few criteria actually. Like I work from a lot from abroad, so I work mostly remote, and it's like choosing the right uh, coffee shop to work from. Like the music cannot be too loud, the coffee must be good, it not like it shouldn't be overcrowded, and so on and so forth. And for projects, it's the same. Like I, for the last 4 years now, I try to work only 4 days a week.
Hmm.
So if someone comes to me and tells, no, we need 5 or 6 or 7 days a week, then for me, like it's a KO criteria already. Um, the money, of course, like if
Hmm.
the hourly rate is not a good fit,
Hmm.
sometimes you can compensate it by an exciting project where you can develop your skills. Like, I don't know if that would be something about Web3 or blockchain or ChatGPT, which is now super hyped, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
then I can compensate on that and say, okay, I can go like 20-30% down, but I can get this amazing experience. But this is also one of the criteria. Actually, two, like money and the funness of the
Hmm.
project, like how
Hmm.
fun it is. And as I mentioned, being able to work remote. So I value that a lot, and I think it's yeah, COVID did a lot of good things to us as well, not only
Exactly.
bad things.
Yeah. And for you personally, what is better, hourly rate or project-based rate?
For me, it's hourly rate, I guess project-based fits better people like UI or UX designers, sometimes full stack developers, because they know that most probably they will need less time to complete this project, and they kind of win.
Yeah.
For me, it does not make much sense because usually, like as a product manager is close to, in a way, to a project manager, and as a project manager, you always need to, the golden rule of a project manager is to dedicate twice as much time as actually is needed, and of course you cannot say, I need not only twice as much time, but I'll also need like twice as much budget for that. Like you cannot bring this argument. So in most of the cases, you will end up doing more work for less money.
Yeah, exactly. And if we are talking about time, what is the most time-consuming thing you must deal with as a freelancer?
For me, the most time-consuming is taxes. Even though recently, like I used to do taxes by myself, now I have a tax advisor who does it for me. But nevertheless, to prepare everything so that the tax advisor can do his or her work in a very good way, in a proper way, you still need to feed him or her with lots and lots of structured information about how much you earned and like all different kinds of things. And that is very, very time consuming for me. And I guess with the time, if you have the same tax advisor, he or she already knows more or less like all the information about you, the personal data, where you live, what are your clients. So it's going to be like less and less time consuming.
It's weird. I don't know, why don't we still have a tax ChatGPT advisor that you feed all the information to it and it's like does everything for you? But you never know. Maybe there are already some projects somewhere in development.
Actually, like recently, just I've seen a video where you can feed ChatGPT with tax, with the tax information, and say Alice earns this much and Bob earns this much, and they have 2 kids. How much taxes will they need to pay this year? And it gives you like a really cool summary.
Yeah, it's nice. So I bet, like, let's just wait for a new startup and it will solve all our problems. So it's the most time-consuming thing, but is it the most nerve-consuming thing too, or is there something else?
If we talk about nerve-consuming, as I said, like I try to stay calm between the projects, but there is like a lot of nerves in the game, I think. Even if you are like a skilled and experienced freelancer, still sometimes, especially now when like you read the lines, Facebook fired 9,000 and Amazon fired X thousand and Google and Microsoft and everyone. And if there's so many tech people on the market, of course, a lot of recruiters use it as an argument and tell you, no, we cannot pay you that much. Like now the rates is gonna go down. And this is where the nerves come into the game, where you need to stay calm and defend your ground and insist on your actual market rate. Like I'm not trying to push the limits, but I'm also not trying to, in a way, go down with my hourly rate, because by doing that, it's like a collective minus for all the freelancers. Imagine if I am a good PM and I say, okay, I will work even for 10 euros an hour, then this recruiter will communicate this information to others, and they will use this information in the talks with other freelancers and will say, no, look, there's this Dimitri and he was okay with 10 euros, so we cannot give you like 20,
Yeah, and I bet it's like must be mutual thing. So it's not like somebody agrees to work on a lower rate. But do you have a constant rate and you like always negotiate about this, or do you have some like, I don't know, for example, like 100 euros per hour and you like add 20% so you can go down 20%? How it works for you?
Usually I have, like as you said, I have my usual hourly rate.
Hmm.
I try to build it up year by year, just a bit. Um, but I don't I don't add 20% on top to then negotiate 20% down and come to the result I want. So I don't do that. I'm sure it's also a valid strategy to do that. And I can, as I told you before, I can compensate on my rate if I see that I can get some benefits in other areas. Like in the end, it's not only about money. Like it's
Yeah.
about the journey, it's about the team, it's about how cool the project is and how much you can learn out of it.
Yeah, totally.
So if I see more pluses on these sides, I can compensate on my rate.
Yeah, that's exactly how you get your experience, and that's exactly how you can get your rate higher. And
Yeah.
if your friend wanted to become a freelancer, what are top three things you'd advise them to consider before doing it?
Top three things. Yeah, good question. Not an easy one. I can tell you just from the top of my mind.
Yeah,
First,
exactly.
if you want to become a freelancer, you know you're going to become a freelancer at some point, so the decision is already made. Then, and I guess I assume now you're not a freelancer yet. So try to make a strategy at the company that you're in right now. How can I get the skills that I will need as a freelancer still being at the company? Like, for instance, if you still have some budget for trainings or for some education, use this budget that you know will help you in your freelancer journey. I guess that would be one. Second, build the network. Start building the network now. If you're not on LinkedIn, do it. If you're not on Xing, if we talk about Germany, do it. Start connecting with people and build up your profile online, like your freelancer profile. Put it out there so that you can already start like the ball rolling and get the first I don't know, gigs that will come into you per email, or the recruiters sometimes they call you. So start the ball rolling even before that. And don't wait until, okay, now I'm a freelancer and now I will start doing that. And then you will lose a lot of time until your profile will,
Yeah.
pop up on all these freelancer platforms. So that's also important. And I guess talk to other freelancers that are already there where you want to go and ask questions and learn. So I would, yeah, point out these three.
You know, Dimitri, I wish to have the sky's the limit, but time is the limit. So the final question, if you were starting freelancing today, what is one thing you would have done differently?
Wow. Yeah, maybe as I said about the taxes. So I would do the taxes right away with the tax advisor and not try to do them myself. I guess that. Um, but other than that, I think there are also not no like wrong and right answers here. You just learn along the way. If you sometimes change the way, then you will just learn different things. So I would still do it the same way.
Yeah, totally. So thank you so much, Dimitri, for sharing your challenges. It was amazingly nice to learn from them.
Thank you. Thank you, Yuri. It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, hit the like button or 5 stars and share it with your friends. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.